Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ken, also known as MrKenDenis. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my warm smoky eye palettes. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys click on the subscribe button down below. I basically do a lot of beauty, hair, and makeup related videos, and I also vlog about my personal life. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I think a lot of people are getting over the whole like warm eyeshadow makeup tutorials, but I think that's just for tutorials. I think a lot of people still prefer like a warm eyeshadow palette because it's just so easy to work with. It's a fail-safe thing, and you know, a lot of people with different eye colors can wear it. And like I'm wearing like these bluey green contact lenses. By the way, they're Solotica Quartzo ones, and also my natural eye color like brown. It just works. But anyway, enough blabbering. I'm going to share with you guys some of the warm tone eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. Some of them are purely just warm tones, and others just sort of like have some warm tones and a combination of like cool tones and other colors mixed in there as well. So let us begin. Okay, so my first ever, I would consider like really warm tone eyeshadow palette is this one. This one is from Stilla. This one is the Eyes of the Window shadow palette in Soul. So this one is a gift from the Beauty News crew. This was before they even had Beauty News. So Just Buy the Makeup, Haley and Kat Kitchnich. So this was a present they gave me like, so this is a present they gave me 2 years ago now, I probably would say. You guys can see it's just got this nice selection of neutral shades, but the reason why I think this is more of like a warm eyeshadow palette more than anything is because obviously that orange shade, that's another sort of like orange shade, and these browns tend to be a little bit warm. This one looks a little bit cooler, but it's still got that warm flex to it. I mean, obviously you've got some cool tones as well, but you know, when you pop them on these other shadows, they tend to look a little bit warm. So in terms of the quality of the shadows, they're really good. I don't tend to gravitate towards this palette a lot these days, mostly because it's not a very hyped up palette at the moment. As you guys know, YouTube, I kind of have to go with like what's trending, what's hyped at the moment, so that, you know, get some views. But honestly, this is one that I gravitate towards like for my normal days that I don't really, you know, do makeup in front of the camera, just because it's really nice and convenient. Like the packaging is really nice, the colors are really good, the quality of the eyeshadows, the mattes are really good. They're very pigmented. The shimmers, they're very good. They're very pigmented as well. I find that certain ones don't apply very well. I have to wet my brush, but that's not a big deal for me. But otherwise, this is a very good palette, and one that I highly recommend. Okay, the next warm eyeshadow palette is one from Kylie Cosmetics. So this one is the Bronze palette. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know what this palette looks like already. So as you guys can see, there's an orange one in the middle. I would say this one's a little bit chalky on myself. And by the way, guys, I'm not going to swatch these palettes on camera for you guys. If you guys would like to see how they perform, I will have tutorials, getting ready with me videos linked down in the description box down below, so you guys can check them out in action. But yeah, that orange shade, it's a bit chalky on me. I don't particularly like it on its own. I do love it mixed in with the other shadows, but you know, you can't have everything in this palette. I'd say it's a really good palette. Again, it's very similar again in terms of like color scheme with the Stila one. My favorite ones in particular are that one on the lid. That is I wouldn't say it's a favorite, but it's one that I use in this palette. That is a really good transition. That's great for like just like a lid color. Like it's got this nice maroon tone on me. Obviously to deepen out the crease. This one to really deepen out the crease, and also for like a black smoky liner. Just sort of like set an eyeshadow base, and then just, you know, it's an overall good palette. I feel like you can do so many combinations with this palette, and you can definitely get a nice neutral eye and a smoky eye look. It's not what I'm wearing today, but I will talk about that in a second. Okay, the next one is Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Guys, I know this palette has been spoken about, hyped so much on the internet, but it's still definitely one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I own. Packaging is really cute, and the fact that it smells like that, it's just so I don't really need to talk too much about the color selection, but as you guys can see, it's definitely got warm tones. It's got some what am I pointing at? So some purples as well, some greens, just to add a little bit of difference into that palette, but it's still relatively I would consider like warm tone eyeshadow palette. Even the lighter colors tend to be a little bit on the peachy warm side, so definitely a warm tone palette. Obviously these purples, they're going to be a little bit cool, but you know, they add a little difference as well. In terms of the quality of the eyeshadows and pigmentation, the mattes aren't the best in this palette. They tend to apply a little bit chalky, so I definitely recommend using a really good eyeshadow base and setting it with a powder, then putting this on, and it just blends really nicely. You might have to build up certain colors, like as you guys can see, I'm not very dark, but even on me sometimes some of these colors, like some of these mattes, don't really show up. So just definitely be patient, build it up, you'll get there. In terms of the shimmery shades, if you use a flat brush, they will go on really well. I mean, like, I think the strong point in this eyeshadow palette are the shimmers, but still wet the brush if you want it to be like next level glow, like next level, yeah, spray that. Okay, the next one is another very well spoken about eyeshadow palette, Urban Decay Naked Heat. Guys, need I say more? I mean, guys, that selection there screams warm eyeshadow. Like, everything about this palette is just warm. So I think this is the only eyeshadow palette that I have that actually has like a dual-ended brush, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. Pretty impressed with the quality. Usually brushes that come in palettes, they tend to be, that one's actually really good. So, oh, look at the selection of those colors. So pretty, so pretty. I have to say the mattes in this one are, let's just say this, I think this is definitely worth the money. Like, you know, it was quite an expensive palette, but I don't regret it. It's really good. So the mattes in this palette, very good, very pigmented. Don't go by just what they look like in the pan. They actually, like these ones in particular, they applied a bit dark on my skin, so don't be fooled. These guys are very pigmented. In terms of these sort of like metallic shimmer shades, oh girl, they are very, let's just say they've got a lot of dimension to them, and they're very pigmented. And then if you spritz your brush, girl, next level. It's definitely one palette that I definitely agree with the hype. It's definitely a really good eyeshadow palette. This one from BYS. Now, BYS is a brand that you can get from, is it Gloss? I think it's called Gloss is the store. Kmart, and obviously you can get it from their online website. Now, this palette, the packaging is, you know, pretty much similar to that of the Too Faced one, and the design is very reminiscent of the original Urban Decay Smoky palettes, but this one, as you guys can see, it has a very similar color scheme to the Modern Renaissance or Modern Renaissance, a palette by ABH or Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yeah, so this is what I mean by it's sort of like half and half. So colors up to here, definitely warm tone, and then you've got some plums, some purples that are definitely not warm tone, but even that brown over there, it's definitely got this like warm shift as well. So if you guys would like to see, again, tutorial swatches, well, I didn't swatch a lot of these shadows, but if you want to see them in action, videos will be down in the description box down below. But this palette is surprisingly very good. I have to say it's on par with like the Kylie Jenner eyeshadow palette. Like in terms of pigmentation, it's really good. Like some of these bright ones, the light ones can appear a little bit chalky, but that's fine. I mean, if you just spritz your brush, the chalkiness problem goes away. But the mattes are what really impressed me. They are super pigmented. I really like them. Obviously they're not as pigmented as like the Urban Decay Naked Smoky Heat palette. Yes, what am I talking about? Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. But these are really good alternatives if you guys don't have the money to get that. Yeah, girl, get on that bandwagon. Okay, the last palette that I consider sort of like a warm eyeshadow palette, again, half and half, is this one from Ciate London. This one is the Chloe Morello collaboration one. I really like the design of this, and I also love the fact that, you know, a YouTuber, Chloe Morello, I've met her in person. She's the loveliest person ever. made, like, helped curate and design this thing. But yeah, it's really good color selection as well. As you guys can see, again, warm, and then I suppose that's a little bit warm as well, and then the rest is sort of like this purpley cool tone as well. But even then, some of these purples are very, like, a little bit warm as well, so I think this is a really good one as well. And don't be fooled with the shadows as well. Like, that one, Unconditional, looks like it wouldn't be that dark of a color, but this one is actually really dark. I thought this was just gonna be like a transition color on me, but no girl, it's sort of like a crease color actually. So that's what really impressed me. The mattes in this one, again, I wouldn't say bad, but they're not really good either. They're definitely ones that you have to build up to get that pigmentation, but they're not chalky, so that's a good thing. The shimmer shades in this one, oh girl, I'm actually wearing Sunshine Bright on the lids, and then I've got an Urban Decay palette. Okay, so this eyeshadow palette I'm going to talk about isn't actually a warm tone eyeshadow palette, but this one is the Urban Decay Nocturnal Shadow Box palette. But I used a fireball in this palette on top, and yeah, that's what it looks like on the eyes. And that's the actual eyeshadow that I used today. So the Ciate London, just to kind of like do the crease work, the main lid color, also the inner corner highlight, but just fireball just on top because I wanted like sort of like a rose gold finish to my eyes. I don't know if it's translating well on camera, but yeah, there you guys go. Those are my warm tone eyeshadow palettes. As you guys can see, I do love my warm tones, so I will probably keep adding more to my collection. But yeah, there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you guys did. Tell me down in the comment box down below what is your favorite eyeshadow palette that you own, whether it be a warm tone, neutral, a wacky, like bright colored type eyeshadow palette. I'd love to hear from you guys. Alright, so yeah, don't forget to check out the other videos on the screen. I don't even know where they are. Check out my social media links down in the down below, and all of the other videos that I mentioned will be down in the description box down below as well. So yeah, there you guys go. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.